Hi everyone, welcome back to WHU TV. It's nice to see you. I hope you're keeping well and having a good start to your weekend, guys. This video has been kicking around up here for the last couple of weeks because I kind of mentioned it when we were talking about Lopetegui on the verge of being sacked and also what the future holds for Tim Steidten. And now obviously there's information that came out earlier in the week in terms of what's going on with transfers, but I want to talk to you guys about it directly, and as always, put your comments in the comments section below. Let me know what you're thinking on this. But today's video, as always, is sponsored by the channel sponsor, 3retro.com. Please click the link in the description below that will take you directly through to the West Ham section of their website, where you can purchase some really nice retro gear, along with track jackets, polo shirts, sweatshirts and t-shirts made by Admiral and Umbro in the claret and blue, as you can tell from the icon that's up here. Any purchases you make through the link in the description below, the commission that the channel would normally be getting, as I always say, I'll be sending on to the charity Iron Supporting Food Banks. They're based in the Newham area, and they're helping those in the Newham area and the Essex County and further afield for that matter, as they are currently supporting, if not close to, if only probably over 80 separate food banks by the time of this recording. So guys, go grab yourself a really nice retro shirt. You'll be saving yourself a few quid in comparison to the club shop, and you'll be helping those less fortunate than you and I. But if you want to make a donation directly to the charity and you don't want to make an affiliate link purchase, that's perfectly fine as well. There is their Just Giving Fund link in the description below. So £1, £2, £5, whatever you can afford, guys. Believe me, every penny helps. So yeah, what is going on with Tim Steidten? Now, the reason why I'm saying this is obviously we mentioned a little while ago that David Sullivan is bringing his backseat closer forward in terms of transfers. And also it was released earlier in this week that from reliable sources that Graham Potter is putting together his own list of transfers that he's looking for. Obviously, you know, as he's mentioned many times, he doesn't want to bring in a striker just for the sake of it, but he is putting his list together. So what does all this mean for Tim Steidten? Now, I'm not in the know in any shape or form. I don't know what it is, but from my point of view, and guys, as I say, put your comments in the comment section below. From my point of view, this looks like Tim Steidten is being demoted down to a glorified scout. Right, as we know, you know, when it came to the transfer of Kudus as an example, that was a Mark Noble recommendation when we went out to see Alvarez originally, and also Steidten went out there to get the deal done. And so it looks like what's going to happen now, and if anybody knows different, by all means put your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you think on this, or what you know on this as well, for that matter. But from what I am seeing, it sounds like Potter is saying to Sullivan and to Steidten, these are the players I want you to get. It appears that Sullivan will give the yes or no, and if the yes or no is done to that, then Steidten will go out and try and make that deal done. Now, as I say, I haven't got this from any sources or anything like that. I've just been piecing together like we all do. I could be putting two and two together and coming up with 86. I don't know, but it seems to me that Tim Steidten, bearing in mind he's been under fire over the last couple of seasons now, not only with some of the failed signings, not all of them, but some of the failed signings. As an example, Mavropanos was a Steidten recommendation. As much as I love Big Dinos, he's not really worked out to the way that he should have done. Also, he's been banned from the training ground from 2 separate managers now. Granted, neither manager works there anymore, but that's the case. You know, he's been criticised heavily about being involved in pre-match build-ups and interviews, etc., etc. Granted, he's probably in the dugout for all of them, because all games are broadcast all over the world. We only just get to, we only get to see it for those that watch reliable, genuine sources of like TNT and Sky Sports. We get to see it on that. You know, he's been told to step down. Basically, from what I'm inferring from all the information we've gathered, that he's basically going to be like a head of recruitment sort of thing, rather than an actual technical director, because it seems like it's going back to the old model prior to Steidten, under Moyes, under Bilic, etc., etc. Yeah, that worked beforehand. So in a way, it's kind of like, oh, if this is true, then I will give David Sullivan props for actually figuring out that that's the case, that we need to be going back and doing something a little bit more like we were doing beforehand, because having this technical director doesn't work. Okay, So as I say, there's everything. There's loads of things involved in this to see why this Steidten was a great idea and why Steidten being appointed was a bad idea. Because as I say, everybody, myself included, was getting pissed off with the way that David Sullivan was getting involved in transfers. But at the same point, you know, it's Steidten's not exactly been living up to the what's the word, to the high bar that I'm guessing ourselves and also the club have put to him to achieve. You know, we have bought in, you know, don't get me wrong, you know, he signed off the likes of Paquetá, you know, who's flourishing again, which is fantastic. And also for that matter, there's been a lot of hoo-ha about what he actually should and shouldn't be doing. But as a result of it, guys, I do think that if this is true and Steidten is going to be having more help, then that's perfect. Get his ego out of the equation, getting people to say, look, this, we need this, that, and the other. Go out and get it. I do, you know, obviously he still has help because he's got other scouts out there. I still think we need more scouts. The more the merrier, of course. Obviously, that's going to take a hit on the budget. But I do kind of think, guys, that we should really, really be focusing on getting the right players for the right position. Not necessarily how we've been operating before, the right players at the right price that can do those positions. For example, you know, fantastic bringing Ollie Scarles through, making sure, you know, Graham Potter's come out saying that he's going to be a first team player now. Likewise with Orford and Casey being told to be able to train with the first team all the time instead of just being involved here and there like it was under Lopetegui and as it was under Pellegrini, under Moyes, to a lesser extent, to under Bilic as well for that matter. And of course we do need priorities in terms of bringing a centre forward in that can do the job. Now there are, you know, we've been linked with a few names and a lot of the names that we are being linked with is bullshit, as it usually is, and also some of the names that are being genuine are from clubs that don't want to sell their player in January. You know, so we are going. This is. I always say this is panic. This is panic by month. Always has been, and it always will be. Focusing on the summer, of course, but at the same point, guys, we need to sort something out behind the scenes. It's getting crazy that the club is getting into this position season after season. We talk about it window after window after window. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are on Tim Steidten's future. Do you agree that the way that things are being handled in terms of how they used to be handled are now coming back into fashion again? And as a result of it, guys, do you think that's the right thing? Or do you think that Steidten needs more time to be able to get his more support in? Let me know what you're thinking on this. But as always, guys, have a fantastic weekend. Take care, and I'll see you soon. All the best now.